Hey everyone, welcome to Watch the Stories. Here we bring you the most emotional, dramatic, and unforgettable tales from every corner of life. So sit back, relax, and get ready to feel every emotion. Because this is where stories come alive. Stop pushing, she says, and I feel something inside me die. I'm standing in our kitchen holding flowers I bought on the way home. Stupid, romantic flowers. Nicole doesn't even look up from her phone, just keeps scrolling, her face bathed in blue light, her expression flat and distant like I'm something she has to tolerate. I'm not pushing, I say quietly. I just thought we could. Could what, James? Have another awkward conversation about your needs? She finally looks at me, and there's nothing warm in her eyes. Nothing at all. Be a man and stop acting so needy. It's pathetic. The word lands like a slap. Pathetic. I set the flowers on the counter. They look ridiculous now, garish and desperate against the granite. My throat tightens, but I swallow it down. I've swallowed a lot lately. Right, I say. Sorry. She goes back to her phone. That night, I sleep on the edge of our bed, careful not to touch her. In the morning, I wake up before dawn and go for a run. When I come back, she's already left for work without saying goodbye. This is my life now. This is what 7 years of marriage looks like. But here's what Nicole doesn't know. I'm done asking. I don't make some grand announcement. I don't start a fight or demand counseling or threaten divorce. I just stop. Stop reaching for her hand. Stop suggesting date nights. Stop trying to make eye contact across the dinner table. I become polite, pleasant, distant. I throw myself into work. My projects get sharper. My presentations become killer. My boss notices. Within 3 weeks, I'm leading a major account. Within 6, I've dropped 15 pounds and started lifting again. Not for her, for me. Because when you stop waiting for someone to see you, you start seeing yourself clearly for the first time in years. I run into Sarah at a coffee shop on a Tuesday morning. Sarah, Nicole's best friend since college, except they haven't spoken in months, some falling out Nicole never fully explained. Sarah looks different than I remember, softer somehow. Real. James? She smiles, genuine surprise in her voice. Wow, you look really good. Thanks. I feel myself standing straighter. You too. We talk. Just small talk at first, catching up. But then she asks how Nicole and I are doing, and something in her expression tells me she already knows the answer. Maybe she's always known. We're managing, I say carefully. She nods, understanding more than I've said. You deserve better than managing, James. The words hit me harder than they should. When was the last time someone said I deserved anything? We exchange numbers, just as friends, she says. But there's something in her smile that feels like possibility. Like someone finally seeing me as more than an inconvenience. At home that night, Nicole barely acknowledges my presence. She's on the couch, wine in hand, watching some reality show. I grab water from the fridge and head to my office, the spare bedroom I've slowly converted into my space. My sanctuary. You've been distant lately, she says suddenly. I pause in the doorway. Have I? Don't be passive-aggressive, James. It's unattractive. I almost laugh. Almost. Noted, I say, and close the door. Inside, my phone buzzes. Sarah. She sent me a quote about self-worth, something simple but profound. I read it twice, then 3 times, and I realize something that changes everything. I don't miss Nicole anymore. I miss who I thought she was. I miss the idea of us, but the actual her, the woman who looks at me like I'm a burden she can't quite get rid of, I don't miss her at all. The next morning, I make an appointment with a divorce attorney. I don't tell Nicole. I don't tell anyone except Sarah, who listens without judgment and then says something I'll never forget. The right person won't make you beg for the bare minimum. 3 weeks later, I'm at dinner with Sarah. It's not a date. Not officially, but it feels like one. She laughs at my jokes. She asks about my day and actually listens. She touches my hand across the table just briefly, and it's the first time in months that touch has felt like kindness instead of obligation. Nicole doesn't know what she's losing, Sarah says quietly. She will, I reply, surprising myself with how calm I sound. How certain. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about being undervalued for so long. Eventually, you stop needing validation from the person who broke you. You find it elsewhere. You find it in yourself. And when I finally walk back through my front door that night, Nicole is waiting up. She's wearing the silk nightgown I bought her for our anniversary 2 years ago. The one she's never worn. Hey, she says, her voice softer than it's been in months. I've been thinking, maybe we should talk. I look at her, really look at her, and I feel nothing. Tomorrow, I say. I'm tired. Her face falls, confused. She's not used to me saying no. I head to my office and close the door. My phone lights up with a text from Sarah. Sleep well, James. You deserve peace, I do. And for the first time in years, I believe it. Nicole starts trying 3 months too late. She makes coffee in the morning, asks about my meetings, touches my shoulder when she passes. Small gestures that would have meant everything before. Now they just feel desperate, and I hate that I notice. Hate that part of me still remembers when her attention was all I wanted. But I'm different now. Colder. Clearer. You're really going through with this? She asks one evening. I've just told her about the attorney. Clean, simple, no drama. Yes. Because of what? Because I wasn't affectionate enough? Her voice climbs, defensive. Jesus, James, every marriage has rough patches. This wasn't a rough patch, Nicole. This was 2 years of you treating me like I was invisible unless you needed something. She flinches. Good. Let her feel a fraction of what I felt. I can change, she says, and I almost believe she believes it. I know I've been difficult. Work stress, you know how it is. But we can fix this. I don't want to. The words land heavy between us. She stares at me like I've become someone she doesn't recognize. Maybe I have. Maybe that's the point. Is there someone else? She asks quietly. I could lie. Should lie, probably. But I'm done with that too. I've been spending time with Sarah. Her face goes white, then red. Sarah? My Sarah? Your former best friend, yes. The one you stopped speaking to because she told you that you were treating me like shit. Nicole's mouth opens and closes. She never told me that was why they'd fought. Of course she hadn't. We're not sleeping together, I continue. Because it's true, and because the truth is the sharpest weapon I have now. We're just friends. But she treats me like a human being, Nicole. She listens when I talk. She doesn't make me feel pathetic for wanting basic respect. You're such a fucking coward, Nicole spits, running to her the second things got hard between us. Things didn't get hard. You got cruel. There's a difference. She throws her wine glass. It shatters against the wall behind me, red liquid sliding down the white paint like blood. I don't flinch, I just look at her, this stranger wearing my wife's face, and feel nothing but tired. Get out, I say quietly. This is my house too. Then I'll get out. I grab my keys and wallet. She's screaming something behind me, but I'm already gone, already in my car, already driving to the one place that feels safe anymore. Sarah opens her door in pajama pants and an oversized sweater, her hair messy, no makeup. She takes one look at my face and steps aside. Come in. Her apartment is warm, lived in. Books everywhere, plants on the windowsills, art that actually means something on the walls. Everything Nicole's perfectly staged house isn't. Wine? Sarah offers. Or something stronger? Water's fine. She brings me a glass and sits beside me on the couch, close but not touching, giving me space to breathe. I tell her everything. The glass, the screaming, the way Nicole looked at me like I was the villain in this story. She's scared, Sarah says finally. She's losing control of the narrative, losing control of you. I should feel something, I say. Guilt, sadness, something. But I just feel relieved. That's not wrong, James. That's what happens when you stop carrying someone else's weight. I turn to look at her. Really look. She's beautiful in this honest, unfiltered way. No performance, no games. Just Sarah, looking back at me with eyes that actually see. Why did you two stop being friends, I ask. The real reason. She's quiet for a long moment. Because I told her she was destroying you. That she was taking this good, kind man and breaking him piece by piece. And she said, Sarah's voice catches. She said you weren't strong enough to handle a real woman, that you needed to grow up. The anger that flares in me is white hot. When was this? 8 months ago, before everything fell apart completely, when I was still trying, still hoping. I should have reached out to you then, Sarah continues. But it felt wrong, like I'd be crossing a line. And then I saw you at that coffee shop and you looked so different, stronger, like you'd figured something out without anyone's help. I figured out that I was worth more than she was offering. Yeah, Sarah says softly. You are. The space between us feels charged, dangerous. I should leave. Should go to a hotel, keep things clean and uncomplicated. But I don't want clean anymore. Don't want to keep playing it safe. Can I stay here tonight, I ask. On the couch, I can't go back there. Of course. She stands, grabs a blanket and pillow, then hesitates. James? Yeah? I'm glad you left her. Not for me. For you. You deserve someone who doesn't make you shrink yourself to fit into their life. After she goes to her room, I lie in the darkness and think about what comes next. The divorce papers. The division of assets. The inevitable moment when mutual friends have to choose sides. My phone buzzes. Nicole, I'm sorry. Please come home. We can work this out, another buzz. James, please. I love you, another. Don't do this to us. I turn my phone face down and close my eyes. Tomorrow, everything changes. Tomorrow, I stop being the man who begged for scraps of affection. Tomorrow, I become someone Nicole never expected me to be. Someone who walks away. The divorce papers sit on Nicole's kitchen counter for 3 days before she signs them. I know because I'm tracking the certified mail, because I'm meticulous now, careful, because I've learned that leaving someone isn't just about walking out the door, it's about following through when they test you. And Nicole tests me constantly. The texts never stop. Apologies, then anger, then bargaining. She shows up at my office twice. Security escorts her out the second time. She calls my mother, spins some story about a midlife crisis and another woman. My mother calls me worried. I tell her the truth. Nicole made me feel worthless for 2 years and I'm choosing myself. But marriage is work, honey, Mom says. It's not supposed to be punishment. She's quiet. Then, you're right. I'm proud of you. 3 words I didn't know I needed. I've been staying at Sarah's for 2 weeks now, sleeping on her couch, paying rent she refuses to accept, trying to keep boundaries intact even though they're blurring more each day. We have breakfast together, watch movies, talk until 3 a.m. about everything and nothing. She tells me about her marriage that ended 5 years ago. How her ex made her feel boring, uptight, too serious. How she tried to be someone else for him until she forgot who she actually was. When did you find yourself again? I ask. I'm still looking, she admits. But it's easier with someone who doesn't make you apologize for existing. We're sitting close on the couch, closer than friends sit. I can smell her shampoo, something vanilla and warm. Her hand rests on the cushion between us, inches from mine. James, she says quietly, we should probably talk about this. About what? About how I've had feelings for you for years. About how guilty that made me feel because you were married to my best friend. About how I cut Nicole off not just because of how she treated you, but because watching it was killing me and I couldn't. Her voice breaks. I couldn't keep pretending I didn't see what she was doing to you. My heart hammers. Sarah, let me finish. She turns to face me fully. I'm not trying to be your rebound. I'm not trying to take advantage of you being vulnerable. But I need you to know that this for me isn't convenient or casual. You're not just Nicole's ex-husband. You're James. You're the guy who remembers how I take my coffee and asks about my day and actually listens to the answer. And I'm terrified that I'm going to ruin our friendship by saying this. but I can't keep pretending I don't feel what I feel. The air between us hums. Every reason this is too soon, too complicated, too messy evaporates because she's looking at me like I'm not broken. Like I'm whole. You're not a rebound, I say. You're the person who helped me remember I was worth saving. I kiss her. Soft at first, tentative, giving her room to pull away. But she doesn't. She leans in, her hand finding my face, and it's nothing like kissing Nicole. This is gentle and fierce and real. This is two people who've waited too long, finally letting themselves have what they want. When we break apart, she's crying. Tell me this is okay. She whispers. Tell me I'm not the worst person in the world for wanting this. You're the best person I know. We don't sleep together that night. We just hold each other on the couch, learning the shape of something new, something fragile and terrifying and necessary. 2 days later, Nicole finds out. I don't know how. Maybe she drove by Sarah's apartment. Maybe she's tracking my phone. Maybe she just knew. But she shows up at Sarah's door at 7 p.m. on a Thursday, and when Sarah opens it, Nicole doesn't yell or scream. She just looks broken. Really? Nicole says. Her? I step into view behind Sarah. You should go, Nicole. How long? Her voice shakes. How long have you two been? We're not, I say firmly. We weren't, not until after I filed. But you wanted to. That's why you left so easily, why you gave up on us without even trying. I tried for 2 years. The words explode out of me. I tried every single day while you told me I was needy and pathetic and too much. I tried while you rolled your eyes when I asked about your day. I tried while you treated me like I was an obligation instead of a partner. So don't you dare stand there and tell me I gave up easily. Nicole's face crumples. I didn't mean those things. I was stressed. You meant them enough to say them. Enough to keep saying them until I believed them. James, please. She's crying now, mascara running. I know I fucked up. I know I hurt you. But we can fix this. We can go to therapy. I don't want to fix it. I want to be with someone who doesn't make me feel like I have to fix myself to deserve basic kindness. Sarah's hand finds mine. A small gesture, but Nicole sees it. Sees everything it means. You were my best friend, Nicole says to Sarah, her voice hollow. You stopped being mine the day you told me James wasn't man enough for you. Nicole flinches like she's been slapped. I was venting. I didn't. You did, Sarah says quietly. And you know what? He is man enough. He's man enough to walk away from someone who treats him like garbage. That takes more strength than staying ever would. Nicole looks between us, and I see the moment she understands. This isn't temporary. This isn't revenge. This is real. I hope you're happy, she says, venom creeping into her voice. I am, I say simply. For the first time in years, I actually am. After she leaves, Sarah and I stand in the doorway, watching her taillights disappear. That was awful, Sarah whispers. Yeah. Do you regret it? I pull her close, press my lips to her temple. Not even a little bit. But later, alone in the dark, I think about Nicole's face. The genuine devastation, and I wonder if part of me will always carry the guilt of breaking someone, even someone who broke me first. Sarah finds me awake at midnight. Can't sleep? Just thinking. She climbs onto the couch, curls against me. About her? About everything. Regrets? No, I say and mean it. Just realizing that choosing yourself sometimes means hurting people you used to love. Even when they deserve it, it still feels heavy. That's what makes you good, Sarah says. You still care even after everything. You're not cruel, James. You're just finally free. Free. The word settles into my chest like a prayer. She falls asleep against me, and I watch her breathe. This woman who saw me when I was invisible, who waited, who risked, who chose me even when it was complicated. Tomorrow, the divorce will be final. Tomorrow, I'll start fresh, but tonight, I'm exactly where I need to be, held by someone who never made me beg for it. The divorce is finalized on a Wednesday. No dramatic courthouse scene, no last-minute pleas. Just signatures and paperwork and a judge who looks bored. Nicole's lawyer tries one final maneuver. She wants the house, the savings, her name on everything we built together. My lawyer shuts it down. We split assets 50-50, clean, fair, done. Nicole doesn't show up to the final hearing. Her lawyer says she's emotionally unable. I feel a pang of something, not regret, not guilt. Just a dull ache for who we used to be before we became weapons aimed at each other. I walk out of that courthouse and Sarah's waiting. She's taken the day off work, brought coffee, worn my favorite sweater of hers. She doesn't ask how it went. Just takes my hand. Where to? She asks. Anywhere that isn't here. We drive to the coast. 3 hours of highway in silence and her hand in mine. The ocean is gray and violent when we arrive. Waves crashing against rocks like they're angry at the shore for being solid. My ex-husband used to say I was too intense. Sarah says suddenly. We're standing on the beach. Wind whipping her hair across her face. Too emotional. Too invested in things that didn't matter. He wanted me to be lighter, easier, less. He was an idiot, she laughs, but it's sad. Maybe I was just too much for him. Maybe that's what Nicole thought about you too, that you wanted too much. Wanting to be loved isn't wanting too much. No, she agrees. But people like them, they can't see the difference. They think need equals weakness. And people like us, she turns to look at me, eyes fierce. We love too hard for people who only know how to love halfway. The truth of it splits me open. I'm scared, I admit. That I'm going to do to you what she did to me. That I'm going to take you for granted or stop seeing you or, James. She cups my face. You've been terrified of being too much for so long that you forgot what it's like to be with someone who wants your too much. All of it, the need, the affection, the care, that's not a burden to me. That's the entire point. I kiss her like I'm drowning and she's air. Like she's the first true thing I've touched in years. We rent a beach house for the weekend. Make love with the windows open, salt air mixing with our breathing. She traces the scars Nicole left on my heart. Not physical, but there nonetheless, and tells me she'll be gentle with them. I promise to do the same with hers, but the world doesn't stop just because you've found peace. Monday morning, I'm back at work. My boss calls me into his office, and there's Nicole, sitting in the guest chair like she belongs there, wearing her professional armor. Tailored suit, perfect makeup, controlled smile. James, my boss says cheerfully, oblivious. Nicole was just telling me about her firm's interest in collaborating on the Morrison account. Small world, you two knowing each other. My stomach drops. We're divorced. The smile freezes on my boss's face. Nicole doesn't flinch. Personal history aside, she says smoothly, my firm is the best fit for this project. I'm sure James would agree that business and personal matters should remain separate. It's a power play, a calculated strike. She's forcing me to either work with her or look unprofessional. Either way, she wins back proximity. Control. I'll need to review the proposal, I say carefully. Excuse me. I leave before I say something that costs me my career. Nicole catches me in the parking garage that evening. We need to talk, she says. We really don't. I'm not trying to sabotage you, James. This is a legitimate business opportunity. Bullshit. You could work with anyone on this account. You're doing this because you can't stand that I'm happy without you. Her mask cracks. You moved on so fast. Like 7 years meant nothing. 7 years of what, Nicole? What exactly am I supposed to be mourning? The marriage where you told me I wasn't enough? Where you made me feel small every single day? I was depressed, she shouts, and it's the first real thing she said. I was drowning and I didn't know how to ask for help, so I pushed you away instead. And you just let me. You stopped fighting for us. Because you can't fight for someone who's already decided you're the enemy. I never stopped loving you, she whispers. You stopped showing it. That's the same thing. She's crying now, really crying. Mascara running, chest heaving, the polished facade shattered. Part of me wants to comfort her. Old habits, old love, old James who absorbed everyone's pain but his own. But I don't move. I hope you find what you need, I say quietly. But it's not me. Not anymore. It's Sarah, isn't it? She's been in your head since... No, I cut her off. You did this. You pushed until I broke and then you got angry when I didn't come back. Sarah just helped me remember I was worth keeping. Nicole wipes her face and something hard settles in her expression. The Morrison account. If you block it, I'll make sure everyone knows why. That you're letting personal feelings compromise business. Do what you need to do, I say. I'm done negotiating with you. I get in my car and drive straight to Sarah's. She takes one look at my face and opens her arms. I collapse into her, months of tension finally breaking. She showed up at work. I tell her everything. The ambush, the tears, the threat. What are you going to do? Recommend her firm, I say. Because it's actually the best fit, and I'm not going to let her make me petty. But I'm also going to request I'm not the point person on it. That's good. That's healthy. Sarah pulls back to look at me. But you're shaking. She said she was depressed, that she pushed me away because she was drowning, and part of me wonders if I should have. No. Sarah's voice is firm. Her depression isn't your fault, and it doesn't excuse how she treated you. You tried, James, you tried for years. You can't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. I know. I hate that part of me still feels guilty. That's because you're a good person, but good people are allowed to walk away from bad situations. That night I lie awake thinking about Nicole's face when she said she never stopped loving me, wondering if love is enough when it's delivered through cruelty, wondering if I'm the villain in her version of this story. My phone buzzes. Nicole, I'm sorry for today. For everything. You deserved better than what I gave you. I stare at the message for a long time. Then I type, I hope you find peace, Nicole, really, but find it somewhere else. I block her number. Block her email. Block every avenue she could use to pull me back into the orbit of her chaos. Sarah stirs beside me. You okay? Yeah, I say and realize it's true. I finally am. She kisses my shoulder and falls back asleep. And I lie there, feeling lighter than I have in years. Finally understanding that loving myself doesn't make me selfish. It makes me free. 6 months later, I'm in Sarah's apartment, our apartment now, making breakfast when I get the email. It's from Nicole's therapist. Well, not directly. It's a form. A request for input on Nicole's treatment. Apparently she's signed a release allowing her therapist to contact me as part of her recovery work. The email is professional, clinical. Would you be willing to participate in a session to provide perspective on the marriage? It would help her treatment. I show Sarah. What do you want to do? She asks carefully. I don't know. I'm stirring eggs that are going to burn. Part of me thinks she deserves to have me participate if it helps her. Part of me thinks that's still trying to save someone who needs to save herself. You don't owe her your presence in her healing. James, you already gave her years of your emotional labor. But maybe this is different. Maybe you're still trying to be the good guy in her story instead of the protagonist of your own. Sarah's hand covers mine. Whatever you decide, I support. But decide for you, not for her. I stare at the email for 3 days before I respond. I hope Nicole finds the help she needs, but I'm not the person to give it to her. I wish her well. The therapist responds kindly, professionally, says she understands, that Nicole will have to do this work without me. Good. She should. 3 weeks later, I run into Nicole at a coffee shop. Pure accident. I'm meeting a client. She's there with someone who looks like a date. A good-looking guy, attentive, leaning in when she talks. She looks different, lighter. Hair shorter, smile easier. She sees me. Freezes. Then does something unexpected. She walks over. James, she says. Nervous but genuine. Hi. Hey. I'm not going to make this weird, she says quickly. I just wanted to say. She takes a breath. I'm in therapy now. Real therapy. And I'm learning that what I did to you, how I treated you, that was about my own shit. My own fears and inadequacies. And you didn't deserve it. I wait, not offering comfort, but not hostile either. I don't expect forgiveness, she continues. I don't even know if I deserve it. But I wanted you to know I'm trying to be better. Not for you, for me, and for whoever comes next. She glances back at her date, who's watching curiously. He's nice, she says. Patient. And I'm trying really hard not to punish him for my past. That's good, Nicole, really. You and Sarah, are you? Happy, I say. Really happy. Something crosses her face. Regret, acceptance, grief for what she lost. But she nods. Good, you deserve that. She goes back to her table. I watch her for a moment, this woman I spent 7 years with, and feel nothing. No anger, no longing, no what-ifs. Just a quiet gratitude that I got out when I did. That evening I'm home before Sarah. I cook dinner, something complicated, time-intensive, an act of love. She walks in while I'm plating. That smells incredible, she says, wrapping her arms around me from behind. What's the occasion? Saw Nicole today. She tenses. And I felt nothing. In the best possible way, I turned to face her. I spent so long being angry at her, then guilty, then confused. But seeing her today, all I felt was grateful I'm here with you instead. Sarah's eyes well up. You know I love you, right? It's the first time either of us has said it out loud. The words hang in the air between us, heavy with meaning. Yeah, I say. I know. You don't have to say it back if you're not. I love you too. The words come easy, natural. I love that you see me, that you never made me shrink myself, that you waited until I was ready instead of rushing me. I love you, Sarah. She kisses me and it tastes like relief and promise and home. We eat dinner on the couch, her feet in my lap, talking about nothing important. She tells me about her terrible day at work. I tell her about the client meeting. Normal, domestic, beautifully mundane. Later we're in bed and she traces patterns on my chest in the dark. Can I tell you something? She asks. Anything. When I first realized I had feelings for you, I was so ashamed. You were married. You were my best friend's husband and I couldn't stop thinking about you. I tried to bury it, tried to date other people, but nothing worked. When did you know? Your 5th anniversary party. Nicole got drunk and spent the whole night complaining about you to anyone who would listen, about how you were too needy, too sensitive, too everything. And you just sat in the corner looking devastated, trying to pretend you didn't hear. I wanted to shake her, wanted to tell you that anyone would be lucky to be loved the way you love. But I couldn't, so I just watched you break a little more. I don't remember that party. I think you've blocked a lot from that time out. She's right. I have. You saved me, I say quietly. No. She props herself up on one elbow, looking down at me. You saved yourself. I just reminded you that you were worth saving. We fall asleep tangled together and I dream of nothing. No nightmares, no Nicole, no past. Just peace. 3 months later, Sarah and I move into a new place. A real home, not hers or mine, but ours. We paint the bedroom blue, hang photos, build a life that's messy and imperfect and real. I still think about Nicole sometimes. Wonder if she's okay, if therapy is helping, if she's learned to be gentle with whoever she's with now. I hope she has. Not for my sake, but for hers. But mostly I don't think about her at all. Mostly I think about Saturday mornings with Sarah, about inside jokes and shared coffee and the way she laughs at my terrible puns. About how she never makes me guess what she's feeling, never punishes me for caring, never makes me feel like loving her is a weakness. One evening, we're on our balcony, watching the sunset. She's reading. I'm pretending to read, but mostly watching her. She catches me staring. What? She asks, smiling. Just thinking about how different my life is now. Better? Incomparably. She sets her book down, moves to sit between my legs, her back against my chest. We stay like that as the sky turns pink, then orange, then purple. James, she says quietly, yeah? Thank you for choosing yourself, because it meant I got to choose you too. I kiss the top of her head, breathing in the vanilla scent of her shampoo, and think about the James from 2 years ago, the one who was drowning in a marriage that felt like punishment. Who thought he was asking for too much by wanting to be loved? That James would barely recognize me now. And I'm glad. Because the truth is this. You can't love someone into seeing your worth. You can't sacrifice enough, shrink enough, be quiet enough to earn basic respect. Some people will take everything you give and still tell you it's not enough. And when you finally walk away, when you finally choose the radical act of valuing yourself, they'll call you selfish. They'll say you gave up too easily. They'll make you the villain in their story. Let them. Because the people who truly see you, who truly love you, they'll never make you beg for proof of it. Sarah's hand finds mine in the dark. I squeeze it and she squeezes back. This is what I deserved all along. Someone who makes love feel easy. Not effortless. Real love takes work. But easy in the way breathing is easy. Necessary, natural. Right. I love you, I tell her. I love you too, she says. And for the first time in my adult life, I believe it without question. The sun sets completely. Stars appear, and I sit there with the woman who waited, who saw me, who chose me, and I finally understand what it means to be home.